I'm flowing, man. I'm flowing, man. You wait a second for the camp, and that's the day of me. And I will sing for every way, and I've been seeing my man. When I can stand and be the same, and I can be the way. You wait the way, the man, the way, the what stand the way. I'm flowing, man. 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 But now I sing. Man, flowing, man. I'm flowing, man. I'm flowing, man. I'm flowing, man. I'm flowing, man. Flowing, man. You wait to play for what I can, and wait to same away. You wait to swing whenever I need, and I don't run away. But I can play the main away. You wait to play the main away, and I can play the main away. Up and leave my way.
Hello. Can everybody hear me?
All right, they should be able to hear you, Corey.
Awesome.
And I as well.
Well, welcome in, everybody. This is Takeover Tuesday with Corey. My name is Corey as well, if you did not know. And I will be, answering some of your guys' questions today, kind of going through, talking about some new cool guitars that we got in today, and really just kind of go through about, everything. We're going to go through everything today. So, wanted to start with Hinckley to see if she has any starting comments for me or any questions before
All right.
we start getting going.
Over to me with the weather or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
To Hinckley with the weather.
Clint is here first. He says, hello all from Arkansas. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Reminding everybody early to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Alex A was in here pretty early as well. Godfly Lee, welcome, welcome. Let's see. Mark Andrews early as well from beautiful Denver. I saw somebody really interesting actually in this chat. A little person named Jonas Bearded on his vacation.
He's supposed to be on a cruise ship.
He says hello from Cozumel, so he is soaking it up.
He's already in Cozumel?
And still,
Man, this ship was flying.
Allegedly, he's driving the boat.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Jonas probably
I would not as either.
took control of that boat.
Yeah, but thank you for joining in, Jonas. Very funny.
From a different place.
But he is here, yeah. And Elle said hello to Jonas as well. Love that. Thank you very much for joining us, Elle. Let's see. Who else is here? Welcome in, Dawn. Let's see. Delane, welcome. Lilycat Honey Picks. Honey Picks are in here. I think they're supposed to be sending us some honey picks.
Oh, cool. I've never tried one before, so we'll give her a go.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to be here at some point. Alex A said he just got up with Jeremy's interview with Alan Bybee, which we did at
yeah, that was cool.
IBMA.
I was actually behind the camera
excellent.
while that was happening.
Yes. Were you there for the Alan Bybee one?
No, I'm sorry.
No, that was just me and Jeremy.
I was there for the Greg Rich one.
Yeah.
And I was behind the camera.
That was a good one.
Like trying not to laugh because it was very funny.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I had a
a
front row seat to that podcast. That was funny.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was hilarious. Yeah. Hello, Terry. Terry said from South Springfield, all caps and lots of exclamation points. Let's do this. Yes, he is here.
Let's do this, guys.
Yes, that is the energy that we need.
I'm a bit more of an even keel, like don't get too high or too low type of guy, but this is me energetic. This is me.
Guys,
I'm excited.
It is Takeover Tuesday. All right, so we have a really cool lineup, by the way.
It's Takeover Tuesday, and not only is it the day that is a takeover, it's actually Corey's day now. I'm calling it, at least.
Okay, that's
Corey's
fine.
Tuesday.
At least a couple Tuesdays a month, it can be Corey's Tuesday.
So we got some cool guitars here, and we're going to start taking them out and taking a look at them.
Yay.
The first thing that I want to do before we do this, though, is just address that John is actually in the store and getting the phones today. That never happened. He's actually over here helping. It's a big deal.
Corey put the hammer down. He said, "Hey, I need you to help while I'm on my takeover." Nah, just kidding.
All right. So,
But yeah, if you're lucky, you may get a John answer.
So we're going to talk first about some Atkin guitars. I'm sure that there's a good portion of you out there who are aware of Alistair Atkin and the guitars that he's making over in London. But what's so cool about these is their kind of varnish or their checked finish that they do. And we have 3 of them right here I'm going to open up. So first one, I do not know what these are. An HWM. This is a Hawaiian Master. Oh man, I've been wanting to play these so bad.
So this one we've not seen in here
I've
before.
never seen this before.
Tell him about it.
So, Hawaiian guitar. Sorry, one sec.
No worries. Terry's asking if there's anything small body with big sound. Yes, actually, I know one of these in here that is a smaller body and does have a big sound. Alexei is asking, is he making them in London? I don't know actually the exact origin of where they're
I think
made.
it's just
I don't know
outside
if it's
of London.
in London, yeah. From what I recall, I also don't think it's, directly in London. Terry said, everyone call now, make John work those phones. Yes, but if you guys buy stuff, please. What's the headstock say there?
All right, so we have a Hawaiian Masters guitar. This is a 12-fret dreadnought with a big neck on it. Feels pretty cool. That is a loud guitar. Oh my goodness. Mahogany, I'm assuming Sitka spruce, although this burst could be deceiving me. 12 fret dreadnought, looks like rosewood fretboard and bridge, bone nut saddle. The kind of ivory style enclosed Grover style tuners, which I really like on a guitar like this. This is so cool. I love Hawaiian.
Peter is a big fan of the 12 fret without a slot headstock, so very cool. Yeah, we don't see that too often.
This is a thumpy bottom end. That is a cool guitar.
Ella's asking, very, very nice. It's beautiful guitar. Why is it called a Hawaiian? Why is it called
Yeah,
that?
it's a good question. So Hawaiian guitars were, and I watched a documentary on this on YouTube some time ago about the kind of the evolution of the dreadnought guitar and what became. And for further clarification, we may have to enlist the help of John to get some specifics here, but from my understanding, back in the 19-teens, back before the dreadnought was really a popularized thing, Hawaiian music became a relatively big craze in America back in the 19-teens into the 20s. And they needed bigger guitars to kind of accompany these other instruments. And at that time, guitars weren't really widely used as a lead instrument. They were mostly used as a backing instrument. And these were kind of based off those first designs of the dreadnought. Like this is kind of the original dreadnought and why they call them Hawaiian guitars, because they were 12 fret with dreadnoughts. Now, people out there can fact check me. There may be some things
They are typing wildly right now. No,
there may be
just
some
kidding.
things I got wrong there, hit or miss, but that's my understanding is the Hawaiian guitar was kind of a predecessor to what became, the D18s, the D28s, the things of that nature. Whenever at that time in the early 30s they decided to make it a 14 fret, became the Dreadnought, bigger guitar, big name with a lot of strength, I guess, the Dreadnought. But this was the popular choice before that. So there's a lot of history to that style.
That sounds about right. Alex A is saying that it was a huge craze. He also wanted to mention that the first ukulele boom era kind of saved Martin at the time, interestingly, which that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but this kind of guitar, I believe, developed based off of ukulele and bands and groups and stuff. So
it's
anyway.
it's not a J45 shape, correct?
No.
12 fret slope shoulder dreadnought.
12 fret slope shoulder dreadnought. Now, so John, was I right about that though? The history of it?
I didn't get to hear what you said.
Yeah. So
I'm going to say yes. It's a Roy Schmeck style dreadnought guitar.
Roy Schmeck, and those were the first guys who were those the predecessors to the dreadnought, right?
No, not necessarily. No.
No. Okay.
That's not true. Martin came up with the first dreadnoughts. It was only Martin.
Okay.
Roy Schmeck was a Gibson style guitar. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm completely wrong.
But it's just a big. It's basically a 12 fret J45 style guitar.
Yeah, 12 fret J45 style guitar.
I'm glad to see that guitar. A more rounded J45 style guitar.
It's a big sound. Really big and kind of just boisterous guitar.
Awesome. Do we have a price yet?
I don't have one in here. I don't know. I'd have to have somebody look that up for me.
I will let you know that none of these have been received yet. So
These just
we
came
will
in.
not probably know a price because we have to do some conversions since these came from England, so we don't exactly know,
I'm excited. I liked playing that
off
a
the
lot.
top of our heads right now.
I like playing that a lot.
Peter's asking, is it supposed to look like an older guitar? Absolutely, it's supposed to look like an older guitar. That's the whole vibe of Atkins. He was also begging for some more dadgad, if you could, at some point, if you so want to. Next question, also real quick. So Rolo says, D'Addario has released some hybrid strings, like a 12.5 to 53 or something around there. Does lower treble lose sound? What's your opinion on mixed gauges?
Mixed gauges as far as like the bluegrass set. Let me think. So I've tried a couple of them. To be quite honest with you, I just play mediums 99% of the time, 13 to 56. And it's because I get used to the tension and the way that they react underneath my pick. But if somebody wants floppier strings on one side or the other, they can mix and match those. Or the 12 and a half to 54, I think, is the new one from D'Addario. Those are kind of a hybrid set or like a mix.
Have you not really tried them that much?
No, I almost only use 13 to 56 on all my guitars.
I can let you guys know also that, let's see, Mr. Gwumpy was asking if there's any 0037s in these cases. There is not.
So this is the LG47. Of course, with this guy, this is a LG style guitar, specific to Gibson back in the 40s when they were making these. And they're kind of modeling them off of later 40s LGs. Sitka spruce top, mahogany back and sides. Neck feels really nice on these. Again, we have the enclosed old style tuners, kind of the Grover style, Grover-esque. Everybody hear me okay? Yeah, these are sweet. I love the LG body style. It fits me really nicely, and I feel like I get a little more oomph out of these than like a 00 or something. It's a big sounding small body guitar.
Cool, cool, cool.
Really cool.
Again, not too sure the prices on these ones. Sorry,
Not
guys.
sure of the prices yet. Would have to take a closer look at, because there's an interesting thing that happens with Atkin, which is conversion rates, right? So whenever we get these shipped over to us, the dollar is constantly changing in conversion between the UK and here, so the prices always kind of tend to wobble back and forth a little bit. All right.
Hello, Scott. Hello, Al. It's evening from the UK. Welcome.
Ooh.
Jack, welcome. It's okay if you guys are late. We still appreciate you. Ooh, that's a cool one.
We got a pre-war
Oh, yeah.
D37 pre-war. I think this is Madagascar rosewood.
Should be with the pre-war designation. You know, actually, if you want to really double check, it should have a thing in the pocket, a spec card. There was another question. Don is asking, he has 2 shipping boxes, one from Bedell, one from Breedlove. Does TAS want those? No, we just use our own branded stuff to ship stuff out. You might want to get with Mike, Mr. D18. I've heard that he's collecting boxes. And by the way, I saw your comments earlier. We did not. I think that they already threw away the Atkin ones, unfortunately. But yeah. But if you absolutely need to, Dawn, there's no issue with just, you know, putting them in our recycling. Especially since it's just a couple boxes. Welcome in, Kenneth, as well.
Wow. Okay. Wow, okay, so this guitar is in your face, huge. Wow. I don't really know what to say. It's just a absolutely gigantic guitar.
Incredible. I don't think that we've had one with a burst before.
Whoa, that is a huge guitar.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Sounds great.
All right,
Sorry,
I'm gonna
I wasn't
ask
saying
you-
much, but
no,
yeah.
that's okay.
It's crazy. People want to hear the dad
That's
gad?
perfectly great.
Or should we move on?
Somebody did want to hear Dad Guide. Yeah, why not? Go ahead if you want to. I got a couple more questions for you as well while you're doing that. Ella's asking, Corey, is this your next guitar? Probably not.
It might be.
Maybe. All right. Brian, welcome in from Nova Scotia. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. We had another one or two. So Jerry is asking, new to Atkin, is it part, or new to guitar, is Atkin a part of Gibson? Great playing. So no, Atkin is its own entire brand. I would say it's fair to say that Atkin is very, very heavily inspired by
and Gibson.
old Gibson guitars, absolutely. But Atkin is made by Alistair Atkin and a very, very small team in England, actually.
You guys want to see a trick? This is not the guitar to play this on.
So that probably
I'm playing both.
You did it.
Both sides.
You did it. Andy McKee in the house.
This guitar is incredibly well set up and it is crazy loud and big. If you were looking for a big guitar, this is this one. So yeah, this guitar is sweet.
Love it, love it, love it.
That's all I have to say.
All right, we got a couple more questions, if you don't mind. Let's see.
Feels nice too.
Okay, we're going to transition to different instruments because this is the first request we're seeing something today. So Jesse says, you are right next to my dream instrument, which is a banjo. What is the twangiest and brightest one under $500?
Twangiest and brightest one. We don't have a ton of banjos under $500, but I would probably say the Recording King Dirty 30s would be the one that I would choose.
All right. Very, very solid entry-level banjos.
Well, okay. That's a crazy guitar.
Just be playing it here all day.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good guitar, though. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So next, Scott is asking, Corey, who are your favorite players, both in and out of bluegrass?
Yeah, okay. Let's see here. My all-time favorite acoustic guitar player is probably David Greer, for a multitude of reasons, but really the main reason for me is his the way he crafts parts and solos is very interesting, and it's always interesting. There's lots of guys who have different styles, but I just like his style the best, so David Greer. And then when it comes to electric guitar stuff, probably the most impressive guitar player I ever heard was a guy who, he's no longer alive, but his name is Sean Lane, from the early 90s, late 80s. He used to play with Black Oak, Arkansas, but that guy is unbelievable. So everyone look up Sean Lane, not the bluegrass player, but the electric guitar player. Yeah, like I said, he's no longer alive, but he's amazing. Let's see, more standard answers would be Eric Clapton. I don't know, I really have to think about this. Eric Clapton, Sean Lane, Joe Satriani. Yeah, people like that. So I like that kind of music too. I'm not very good at playing it, but I like electric stuff. So
Nice. All right, let's go to something else.
yeah.
On the,
Do we have
on
any
the
questions? Anybody want us to play anything specific?
So I don't see anybody asking for anything specific. I do have a couple more cool guitars for you to open right there.
Oh, I see.
So this is a question though. To keep your guitars, is it better to use the wooden cases or the plastic SKB for humidification and protection wise?
Really, you just want a good case that's going to seal well. So as long as you're getting a good seal, I don't necessarily think that that matters too much. Although I suppose a wood case could technically soak up moisture to an extent. But yeah, just having a good seal on a case that contains humidity well. So whatever that may be, a hard shell case is better than a... This one's just set up and ready to go. All right, so here we have, what is this? The F40. It's a jumbo. It looks like a small jumbo, though. It's a little bit slimmer in the depth than a... Sounds good though. This is like a satin style finish, so it's really got a lot of belly rumbling going on here. Good sounding guitar, good playing guitar, and I do like the gilds. These always play and sound awesome.
Jerry's asking where are you located. My granddaughter is playing now too. Very, very cool. We are located in Springfield, Missouri.
Springfield, Missouri.
If you're ever through, come join us.
Good a place as any.
Jesse's asking, do we have any Ibanez in? It's a very specific Ibanez. We do not actually sell Ibanez here. Sorry about that. If we did, we absolutely would do that request though for you. Alex A is asking any new mandolins. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry that we do not have any new mandolins, but just know that I talked with Jeremy and I think that I'm going to have him on next week for Takeover Tuesday, and we'll get quite a bit deeper into the mandolins.
And here we have a D40. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Guild has their American line, and then they also have import line. The D40 is an American-made Guild. They're now out of California. This one appears to be Sitka spruce and mahogany back and sides, which is traditional and in line with that series from them. That is a woody mahogany guitar. That sounds awesome. I really like this one. This is one of my winners for today.
Love it. Herb was asking if there's any pre-war OM Adkins. We did not have any in this.
None of those in, but if you are wanting the largest sounding guitar possible, that pre-war Atkin that we just got in that D37 is huge sounding.
Oh, yeah.
How did you think it sounded, Trent? Yeah, it's big.
Oh, yeah. Kyle is asking, what is the wait time on a Bedell 1940?
Not too long. I believe, and you know, take all this with a grain of salt because John is the final say here. But I believe we have more on the way, and we've already been filling our few special orders that we had at the beginning, and we have more coming. So stay tuned. Very shortly, it won't be too long. Hopefully, in the coming months here. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Next, Mark is asking if we have any Alvarez LT70s. Did we get any LT70s in? I do not know.
I do not know either.
We can search. We can do a quick Google search for that.
like that guild.
An
That was fun.
LT70. Austin's taking a quick look.
The 70s are the Dreadnoughts. This is LF70. It's a LD. We don't have, the LT is the triple O, actually.
Yeah.
I don't have any of those in right now. I have every other model possible, but not
That's what
those
it is.
specifically. Where'd Trent go?
He had to go that way for a second. All right.
Okay. Hello.
Let's see.
I'm back. I'm back in frame.
Yeah, you are. The Guild D40 sound terrific. Agreed.
Yeah, man, that is a
Oh, yeah.
super woody. This is another of my silly verbiage that I use, but if you're wanting a very mahogany guitar, like that one is a mahogany guitar. Yeah, for sure.
Gary's asking, what do you think about
does that even mean,
Zager? What
Corey?
do you think
What?
about Zager guitars?
An entry-level guitar that is appropriate, I think, for entry-level. Yeah, entry-level prices. Yeah, they're
We've
pretty-
never really had like a ton of experience with those in the shop.
No,
honestly, so-
I haven't played very many of them,
Yeah.
so I don't have any great reference there. I do know that there are people who like them, and yeah, so that's all
right.
I know.
Let's see. Kenneth was asking, there was an Ovencall Back Inside's Deluxe unboxed yesterday. Can we hear it? I will try and get a message over next door to see
Yeah.
if somebody can bring it over. And
Yeah,
absolutely.
keep in mind that there is a fair amount of, well, really all of those things that came in on the unboxing yesterday are basically still being processed right now. So they're going through what these guitars should be going through right now, but I stole these and brought them over here so I could show you guys. So.
Let's see. Corey, do you have any shoulder issues from dreads? He says, I can't tolerate them in my right shoulder anymore, so it's all grand auditoriums at the moment.
No, I'm fine. But I definitely understand people having limitations like that. Like I always say to people, I think a guitar first and foremost should be comfortable. If a guitar is not comfortable, then you're not going to want to play it. So that's, I think, the most important thing that a guitar can be, is comfortable. Dreadnoughts are quite comfortable to me. I'm not a small person, so they fit me pretty well. I have long arms, and so, yeah, works well for me.
All right. Jerry's asking, what do you think about Collings guitars?
I really like Collings guitars. I wish we were a dealer for them. Maybe that'll happen one day, but I really like them. Trying to think of my favorites that I've played. I like the Waterloos. I think they're kind of cool and small and boxy. Kind of like old catalog guitars, sort of. Although they're not really my style, I like that aesthetic and that vibe. So I do dig those. I think they're neat. As far as the Collings traditional series, if I could have any of those, it'd probably be like a D1A or something like that. I really like those with the Addy tops, and the new Hill Country stuff is really good. It's definitely more in line with that kind of pre-war imagined feel and look and sound. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Collings guitars. I know the guys down at Collings a little bit. I've talked to them. Nully down there, I've had many conversations with him now, and yeah, they all are really nice people. So.
Next, do we have any Guild D55s on the horizon?
I thought we had a D50. Oh no, okay, so this one's a little bit different.
Yeah, that's the limited one.
Yeah, this is a D50. I don't know if we have any D55s immediately on the horizon. I know that John placed an order and got some different ones in, and these are the first couple here that we got in, including the D50 back here, which is a limited edition one that we have back here. It's on our website if you're interested.
If needed, I'm sure that we could get that.
Oh yeah, we could certainly get one for someone if they wanted to special order it, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see, if there's any other questions, I don't see any at the moment, but if there's any other questions, or if anybody wants to specifically see any guitars that we do have, well, just let me know.
Yeah, let us know. I am at your guys' beck and call today. I'm playing hooky from work right now. in the meantime, let's think about some guitars.
What do
and some other
you
things
want to
that we-
show off? Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's so many good new things that are coming through all the time that I don't even have time to play them anymore unless I do things like this. Let's mess with the TAG3 for a second.
Why
Have you guys
not?
Have you guys seen these? Anytime I get a free moment, which is never, to sit down and play with these things, I play with this. Until we get new questions, I'm going to try to figure this out.
No worries.
What-
Let me go ahead and, sorry, I just got a message that let's see. So, Kenneth said there was an oven call back inside's deluxe unbox yesterday. Was it an OM or was it a... I was told that we didn't get any dreads. Let me know if you have a more specific on what that was.
Okay, that's enough of that. These are so much fun, though. If you guys haven't played with these, they are awesome.
All right, we got a couple more. Curious about Eastman. Could I hear an AC 122-1 CE?
Sure, why not? Let's see what we got here. Do I have a... I don't have a standard, I have a deluxe, though, right here.
All right.
So, for those of you who may not know, this is going to be kind of considered one of Eastman's standard lines. You pretty much can always... You can almost always find these available, and they're really, really good for the price. These come in right at just a little over $800. Great sounding guitar, as always. The Deluxes have the upgraded pickups, they have the full gloss finish, and really just some really nice appointments that are really cool. So this is almost always my go-to to recommend to somebody who's wanting the most value for their money at under $1,000. If you wanted a cutaway, this would be the option. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. So I'm trying to find that one, Kenneth, real quick. So he's saying that he's looking for a grand. What am I losing my mind? What's the grand auditorium that has oven call? For
It's the AC
Eastman?
222,
It's the 222, right? Okay.
and I do have that one right here.
Okay, sweet. He's looking for the deluxe, actually.
Okay,
Do we have that over here?
I do.
Okay, well then never mind.
So this is the AC 222 CE Deluxe Gold Burst. And it's awesome too. Often call is a little bit richer than Sapele. So AC222, same type of setup and general approach here. All gloss finish. You have the Fishman style pickup system in here, piezo pickup. Yeah, they're wonderful. These are great guitars. Again, not much more expensive than the AC122. These are at $899. Again, absolutely insane value for how good these guitars are. And really, I'm sure you guys have heard us say this 1,000 times, but for those of you who haven't played Eastman guitars before, these are pretty impressive instruments at these price points. All solid wood, bone nut saddle, hand carved. I mean, it's just impressive. Yeah, I think they're awesome. So.
All right, next request. Show us a cool parlor.
Yeah.
Show us a cool
Let's do
parlor,
it.
Corey.
Thunder.
What is your take on how much the top, back, and sides contribute to tone?
Everything. Well, the top primarily is the #1 contributor, but I do think that the back and sides act almost as more of a sweetener to the nuances of the tone. So you get the complexities of the guitar that arise in the back and sides, and then really it seems like the majority of the tone and the actual guitar itself comes from the top. I'm looking for a small body guitar here, everybody.
Elle, I will definitely get that Gibson on the shop talk tomorrow. Why not?
To keep in the spirit of Atkin, we're going to go with one of my all-time favorite small body guitars, the Dust Bowl from
Very
Atkin.
cool.
I think these are awesome, and any chance I have to play one of these, I really like. This is the Dust Bowl, all mahogany, slot head, 12 fret. The Atkins are meant to be aged, right? Relics, looking old. But what I like about these is if you want a guitar that has, or an instrument that has the, I can't think of a better word, so I'll just use the word vibe. If you want a guitar that has the vibe of an old instrument without the quirks or the problems of an old instrument, which many of you out there who own old instruments will know, old instruments come with their issues, right? That keep popping up, you know. And having one that kind of has that vibe but without the issues is cool too. So that's why I really like the Atkin stuff. I think that they're really good and sound awesome. And this would be my pick for a little 00 of the store.
All right, just a couple more requests. So Lily is asking for a demo of the Guild D40 versus a D18.
Okay.
Which we certainly can do a little back and forth.
I have a D18 Satin here, so we can play those two.
Oh, nice. That would actually be a pretty good comparison, probably.
It'd be a really good comparison. Oh.
Bonking stuff. Gosh, Corey. All right, let's see. Another question real quick. Asking, did I understand correctly that you won't be getting any more Eastmans for 6 to 8 weeks? So no. The thing is that Eastman there won't be any new instruments in the facility for at least that amount of time.
Right.
For sure. What they have in their warehouse is what they have, and if they have what you're looking for in their warehouse, then yes, we can get that in. But essentially, they're not shipping anything over to the U.S. for... the minimum is, whenever the boat leaves, is 6 to 8 weeks, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's certainly been a thing, but we're navigating it right now, and we're getting more stuff in, and I would say just look out on the horizon here. We got a lot of cool Eastmans on the way. And I've got a lot of phone calls to make to some people who are getting some pretty cool guitars from Eastman here coming up shortly. So, but for the moment, we're going to talk, was it Lily? Is that the person who asked this?
Lily Cat.
Now we're going to talk about the D18 versus the D40, and I'll talk about my thoughts a little bit here. That was a D18. Sounds great, as always. I love a good D18. Let's pop open the old Guild D40 here, see what we're working with. Let's see what you guys think, really. Guys, that's pretty close. Wow. So I just played a satin D18 and a satin D40. Remarkably similar in my estimation here, but what does everybody think, or is anybody saying anything?
Let us know. I've seen none so far.
The D18 is, you know, stereotypically Martin. It certainly has the Martin thing.
All right.
This one's got some cool stuff too going for it though that I don't know how to describe. What is it, Hinkley?
The guild thing. It has the guild thing.
It has the
going
guild
for
stuff
Yeah.
in it.
All right. So we do have a few more requests if we could. Happy to get to whatever we can get to. BL is asking, do we have the Martin D28 1935 Sunburst over here? All right, that must be next door.
I do not.
let's
It looks
see.
like. Sorry.
I can probably ask somebody to get that. Same thing with I saw somebody requesting for the Eastman E40 00 MRTC. We have not brought that over either. Those are still in the photo process. If you would like, I can get somebody hopefully to grab both of those before the stream is over. So the next instrument that I see that does need to be demoed is the Martin 0012 28.
Yeah.
0012 28. I'm assuming the modern
0012
deluxe.
28. I believe that's the only one we have.
Yeah.
That's a great guitar too. I should have grabbed that one. Okay, that's fine.
So I got no
Everything's
shovel.
good.
Are you asking
We're
for the
fine.
Sunburst or the natural E40 00?
Everything's fine, guys.
Austin, would you do me a huge
Corey's in
favor and
control.
ask
I got this.
one of them
I gotta right this ship.
to get the Martin D28 with the 1935 Sunburst? According to the airwaves, the Guild sounds like it might be projecting a little bit more. The D18 is a little bit more mid-rangey. I agree that you hear a little bit more of the wood sound with the D40.
There we go. The 001228.
Yep.
Wonderful small body
right.
guitar.
We're getting some other stuff over here. So another question that I saw here, Tyler is asking, how does the Atkin pre-war compare to the Martin Authentic Aged?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a good one.
Sort of compares. The pre-war Atkin is going more for the so the neck is thicker on the Atkin than a standard Atkin would be, just like you would see on a Martin Authentic being thicker neck than a standard Martin neck. The Atkin pre-war has a pretty significant V shape to the neck. It's pretty prominent. I'm assuming on that guy, I didn't really think to take too much of a look because it's a sunburst, but it should be an Adirondack top and Madagascar rosewood back and sides, which, I don't think they're using hide glue on the Atkins either, and I think, so as far as it being like a true to pre-war style guitar build, I don't think that they're doing everything in that style. I think it's more about a couple of the wood upgrade choices to like a Madagascar, a more premium wood choice, and to the neck feel, I would say, which is what's making it more of a pre-war guitar. But those would be my observations there. So.
Okay. I'm going to go through and look up
Great
some
sounding
more
guitar,
stuff.
though.
Saw some other questions. Okay, Don is asking if I bring in my Bedell Coffeehouse Parlor, what is the, to place on consignment, what's the wait for the process on that? Says that he's still waiting on his Gibson to be posted.
Yeah, we're, our team next door is trying to take care of that stuff as quickly as they can. Right now, I mean, there isn't a great timeline on how long it's going to take. I would like to have those done sooner rather than later, obviously because we're selling these instruments for people, but it's a little bit more than that. It's the time that it takes to write the description, to take the photos. So it's a multi-step process and not just necessarily sitting down at a computer and just boom, we're done. So these take a little bit of time. I'm going to say that we're probably wouldn't have it up until June time frame. So, yeah.
All right, next request. One of the last ones. We're going to come up on the end here. Can you play the Eastman E10D number 0428?
Okay, E10D. I don't have any E10Ds over here.
Maybe it's going to be an E1D, and it might just be a typo if you want to check that. You just brought one over. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We had some in the shipment, so.
Yeah,
0428, Austin.
Oh, you got it?
There you go.
Oh, okay. Austin brought them over. I haven't played these. I make it a mission of mine to play every E10 that comes in the store because I love these guitars so much.
They're pretty great.
I own one, and I'm a big fan of these. Yeah, so.
Another question real quick before you get too into that. What do you think is a neck shape that is generally the most comfortable for beginners?
Most comfortable for beginners. You probably, maybe. I don't feel like it is neck shape that is a deterrent as much as it is the way the guitar is set up. I feel like what you probably don't want a giant neck, right? But if you have too skinny of a neck, then that makes things difficult too, because then you don't have any meat, so to speak, to kind of grip onto to have leverage or keeping things moving fluently. Because if I had just kept my hand off of the fretboard, basically, would be like a really. And then I'm just using all finger strength, right? I don't have a lot to hold on to. But a too thick of a neck and you feel like you can't reach your fingers around well enough. I would say a C-shaped neck of a default size. If you are concerned about the neck depth or the shape or anything, I would say maybe lean closer or lean further away from dreadnought guitars, because dreadnoughts do tend to have larger necks, but that isn't always the case. It depends on the manufacturer. So I would say go to your local music store if you have one, or if you can afford to get to a local music store, and just try out some guitars and see what you think fits well, because everyone's hand is different and the way that they feel with the guitar is different. So I guess that would be my best answer to that. Yeah.
Just try them out.
Yeah, just try them out. Try things out until you find something comfortable. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I never even thought about this stuff until I started working at a music store. But I didn't even know what my nut width on my guitar was, or the neck, or anything, or the woods on my guitar, until I started working here. That is a great E10. You guys hear that?
That one's really good.
That guitar sounds awesome. Someone buy this one, 0428. This is a really, really good E10. Really, really good.
Was the E10 the first thing that you bought from here, from the acoustic shop?
The first thing I bought from here?
I think that was, wasn't it?
The first thing I bought from here is I bought an E20D TC.
Or was the 20 first?
I had that for about a year. And then I realized that for me personally, I do more flat picking stuff, and I really like that quick note articulation I get out of mahogany guitars. So almost all of my guitars are mahogany guitars right now, which is not good because I have no diversity. And I need to get more rosewood stuff, because I do like that too. It's richer and deeper and more beautiful, is that a word? More beautiful in its complexity of tone. But I like the quick note articulation. Man, this is a great E10. I'm not just saying that, it's really, really good. Wow. Okay. Yep. Whoever asked for this, you should probably snag this right now if you want one, because this is as good as they get.
All right, we're trying to wait on a guitar from next door, but I don't know if it's going to make it over in time, honestly. Ooh.
Oh, maybe. Is that trading to the rescue?
Let's trade into the rescue. Yeah.
Is everyone
probably?
Is everyone still enjoying themselves watching things?
Are you guys enjoying yourselves watching this?
I hope so.
All
I'm
right,
not as entertaining
this
as John.
should be the D28 with the 35
cool.
Sunburst.
Thanks,
the
Traden.
new Sunburst thing that they did.
See, trade.
Is this the right one?
Sure.
I think so, yeah.
Let's go with this.
I can't remember off the top of my head, honestly, but I think that you were right.
All right. We got here.
Trent, that is the 35 one, right? Oh, yeah, true.
Should be the 35 style finish.
Yeah. The price on the E10D, if I could, real quick, let me look it up over here. Price on the E10D is $1639.
$1639, man, that's great. Someone should buy that guitar. It's awesome.
And then
Yeah, we got a D28 here with the Sunburst. This is a satin finished one, and it feels awesome. Plays awesome and sounds really, really good. That is what I miss about rosewood guitars, because I don't have any that I play right now, is you do get that rich depth, that kind of beautiful low end, the bell-like tones, and I do love that. I just don't find, personally, that I find as many uses for it with like the gigs and stuff that I do. Because if I play rosewood guitars in a bluegrass band, sometimes it feels like things are getting drowned out, and things are kind of wafting in the mix instead of being ever present and driving like mahogany can sometimes be, because it kind of cuts through in a different way. But I do love the complexity of rosewood, and it is something that really isn't replicatable amongst any other wood. It's kind of just its own thing. That's why people have always loved it, right? Great guitar. D28 satin with
Nice.
the old style sunburst. What do they say? 35 sunburst or whatever?
Yeah, I can't remember which one it is. 35,
And thanks to Traden for bringing it over.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're actually going to be wrapping up. Ed, welcome, but you were right at the very tail end of this. We're going to be wrapping this all up right about now. Let's see. How do you remain fresh and objective?
How do I remain?
Do you ever get jaded being around so many guitars?
No, not really, because I have fun with it, right? I don't. Yeah, it's a good question. I played a lot of stuff, right? I've played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of guitars that come through the store, and all it does, and really all I feel like it's doing, is it's adding to my reference, my reference bank in my head, so that hopefully I can give more and more accurate information to you guys, because I'm trying to stay objective as best as I can. That isn't completely 100% possible, because I have my own feelings and opinions and things about things, and I also don't want to lie about anything either, so I want to make sure I stay truthful too, and give you my honest thoughts. And my honest thoughts are, most of the, like every guitar I played today, whether it was requested or something that we brought out here, was great. There's not a bad guitar in this store. They all have their own definite qualities. So I don't like to speak in absolutes. I don't like to speak in black and white. I try to think more of in terms of, what is this right for? What is it not right for? What's the type of player who would like this? So that keeps it fresh for me, especially when I see players who are wildly different than me come into the store and try things and play things on guitars and make them sound in ways that I never could. And that's really fun for me. And that's kind of my goal, is I want to help find you people out there guitars that make you feel that way. And not every guitar is going to do it for me, but there are some guitars out there that absolutely will do it for you guys. So yeah, if you need something, or if you have questions, this is what I like doing. I like talking about these things. I like communicating and hopefully giving some honest feedback as to my feelings about things. Yeah, does that answer the question? I don't know if that answered the question.
I think that answered it fantastically. I would say, there's really good guitars literally everywhere right now.
There is not a bad guitar in the store. I promise you that. I mean, we have some guitars that are $200-300 in here that I could absolutely find a purpose for, and it would be amazing for that. Yeah. And I have some $20,000 guitars in here that I could find a purpose for. I just wouldn't want to take it out of my room if I bought something like that. So.
All right. I think that this is what we have today for today, yeah.
Well, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you to Hinckley for hanging out with us, and thank you to Trent for holding the camera. Nobody ever thanks Trent often enough, but thank you to Trent for helping us.
Trent was here. All right, I'll leave this as one more question because it did just pop up. Ed got here late. Ed, I'll allow this one question from you.
Oh, okay.
Did you see the new release from Gallagher for $2,700?
No, I haven't seen that yet. It must have just happened, or maybe it's something that I've been super busy and tucked away making phone calls the last couple days, so I may not have seen that, but we'll have to keep an eye out for it. Yeah.
That we will. All right, bye-bye, Corey. Say bye-bye.
Bye, y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me, and thank you for enjoying guitars with me this fine afternoon.
Oh, yeah.